Okay, so today is August 1st and this is the start of my next reading vlog. I put up a poll on Instagram of 2 books that are on my TBR for this month, and I had you guys pick which one you wanted me to read first. So definitely make sure you're following me on Instagram because I post on my story a lot, and frequently I will do polls asking you guys which books you want me to read. So make sure you're following me so you can vote in that. I haven't looked at the results yet, so I have no idea where they're going. But the 2 books that I had you guys decide between are The Traitor Baru Cormorant by Seth Dickinson and Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. These are both, I actually don't know if this is sci-fi or fantasy. I think it's maybe a little bit of both. I feel like it's fantasy or sci-fi. It's definitely one of the 2. And this one is fantasy. This one is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and this one is about a girl who had everything taken from her and she's trying slowly to get revenge, and she kind of grows into being a villain. So let's see what you guys picked. I think the poll's been up for a couple hours. Oh, wow. Okay, it is very clearly leaning one way. I thought it would be a little bit more equal, but it is 28% for The Traitor Baru Cormorant and 72% for Spinning Silver. So I guess I'm reading Spinning Silver first. Okay, cool. So I do have this on audio, and I think I might start listening to it on audio while I clean my room, because my room is a disaster. I know I've showed you guys like me cleaning my room before in vlogs, but it is so beyond messy right now. I don't even want to show you. I'm really embarrassed. So I think I might do that. I'm still going to read The Traitor Baru Cormorant this month, so if you did vote for it, don't worry. I'm still gonna be reading it. Okay, so I read about a chapter of Spinning Silver, and then I decided to come out and go swimming. And I was gonna listen to it like while I was sitting out here, but it's not the best pool book because you have to really concentrate. Like, I got kind of confused in the first chapter because the main character's dad is like a money lender, and then they mentioned 2 other characters who are also money lenders. So I was like, wait a minute, are these all the same person or are these different people? I don't know, I was just confused, but I think I got it. I had to reread the first chapter. I think I got it. I think I'm good now. And yeah, I mean, I'm liking it. I'm only a chapter in, but it's cool so far. I really like the main character, the way that she was introduced, and I can already tell I'm gonna love her.
Oh my god. So I don't know what just happened, but it is 3 a.m. and I'm still awake. I've pretty much been up all night researching witches and covens and Wicca because I got a really cool book idea, and then I was like, midnight is the perfect time to start researching this book. So I completely did a deep dive. Oh my god. I'm not even gonna remember anything I learned when I wake up in the morning because I'm just so tired. Why did I do that? But I did find a lot of really cool books on witchcraft that I requested from my library, so that'll be exciting when I get all of those. Oh my god, I'm so tired. And I still have to go take off my makeup. I just want to go to sleep. But I don't want to get up. Oh my god, why did I do this? So I forgot to update you guys yesterday. Oh wow. My hair is kind of crazy. But I started reading another book. I'm liking Spinning Silver. It's just kind of slow, and I wanted something that was a little bit quicker right now. So I'm still reading it. I also started reading, I'm sorry, I cannot deal with my hair right now. So I also started Sea Witch by, I don't remember the author's name, but this is a Ursula origin story, I think. And I'm only like 30 pages into it, so that's all I know. It seems like it'll be a really fast read. I think I can finish it today. Today, I'm just going to be reading and trying to figure out what it was that I did last night with my witchcraft research, because that was a little insane. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to start doing that at like 2 a.m. And then I have yoga later. Oh my god, I need to go take off my makeup and take a shower because I literally look like a troll.
Let's talk, because I finished The Sea Witch last night and I gave it 1 star. I think this is only the 3rd 1 star I've given out this year. I think the first one was The Hazelwood, and then A Night to Surrender by Tessa Dare, which is right there. And now The Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. So this was basically supposed to be a Ursula origin story. And honestly, I'm a little offended on Ursula's behalf that this is even considered an Ursula origin story, because it's not. I mean, technically it is, but it really isn't. Like, if you are gonna go into this book hoping for Ursula or hoping for a villain origin story, that's not what you're gonna get. If you want a villain origin story, this is one. This is amazing. This was what I wanted from a villain origin story. Honestly, to me, Ursula is one of the greatest villains. She's incredible. And this was just nowhere in the realm of what I wanted it to be. The first thing that was just horrible about this book, there was no plot at all. Nothing happened until the last, like, 50 pages. Up until then, it was just, I don't even know. I can't even tell you one plot point that happens other than, like, the characters walked and talked, and then they rode on a boat and talked, and then they danced and talked. That's it. And I'm definitely more of a character-driven type of person, so lack of plot isn't that bad to me. But when you don't have a plot, and then on top of that, your characters are so fucking bland, like, what's the point? So nothing happened for, like, 200 pages. And then the characters, who are they? I don't know. It honestly reminded me of fan fiction, because when you read fan fiction, usually you already have established characters that you know about. And so the fan fiction writer just kind of throws you into the story expecting you already know the characters. And that's what this was. Like, for the first 50 pages, I could not tell the two main male characters apart. They were both princes, and they both... That's it. That's all I know about them. I kept getting them confused. I didn't know anything about any of these characters. And so because of that, I didn't care about them. And actually, there's one really interesting thing that I found, because I was listening to the audiobook and following along in the ARC copy that I had, and there was a lot of scenes where in the ARC copy, one of the male characters would say something, but in the audiobook, it would be the other male character. Or there would be certain scenes where it would be, I don't even remember their names. So we're gonna call them Prince A and Prince B. So there would be certain scenes where in the print ARC copy, it was Prince A. And then in the audiobook, it was Prince B. And so that leads me to believe they were actually just interchangeable. Not only were they interchangeable in my mind, but they were interchangeable to the author, so much to the point where originally one of them were saying certain dialogue and they changed it to be the other prince in the finished copy. So like I said, the plot didn't start until there were 50 pages left. And at that point, when the plot really picked up, the characters completely forgot who they were and just decided to change. I don't know if that was an attempt at character development, but it wasn't character development. Every single one of them, their personalities just changed all of a sudden. Within one scene, they were all different people. And I was just like, who are these people? Where did they come from? And I kept holding out hope, because around like 200 pages, I was ready to quit. Actually, I was ready to quit within 50 pages, but I'm really trying not to DNF books this year. I looked up reviews on Goodreads, and I would say the majority of the reviews said that the first like 100, 200 pages is really slow, and then it picks up and the end is amazing. Y'all lied to me, because the end was not amazing. Part of the reason why I was so upset about this book is because I have read the perfect Ursula origin story, and it was written by the Queen, Leigh Bardugo. It is the last story in Language of Thorns, and it's called When Water Sang Fire, and it is fucking amazing. If you are looking for a Sea Witch origin story, this is it. Don't read Sea Witch. Read the last story in Language of Thorns. Just look at the picture that is accompanied with this story. If this doesn't make you want to read it, I don't know what will. The Sea Witch sucked, and this was amazing. So that's my review. Yesterday, I also read a graphic novel called, hold on, what's it called? Called Spell on Wheels, which is about 3 witches who their house gets broken into and someone steals a bunch of magical artifacts and sells them on the goblin market, which is like the black market but for magical stuff. And so they have to go on a road trip to get back all the stolen items, and it's really fun. I really liked this. I gave it 4 stars. I'm actually really upset because this was published in, let's see, early 2017, and since then there's been no more issues, so I don't really know if this comic is like over or if it got pulled or what, because I want more of this. I really liked it. Now I'm reading the third book in the Veronica Speedwell series. I don't know if I've talked about this on my channel yet because I read the first 2 books during 7 and 7 readathon. I don't have any vlog footage for that, which by the way, I'm sorry, I lost a lot of my vlog footage for the 7 and 7 readathon. I've been getting a couple comments and DMs asking me where my vlog is, and I don't think I'm gonna post it because half of the footage is gone and it doesn't make sense anymore. So I read the first 2 books during that, and now I'm reading the third book, which is so crazy because I very rarely read the same books in series back to back. I just don't want to be reading anything else. It's so much fun. Basically, these are historical mysteries that follow these 2 scientists that just have like crazy sexual tension that they're never gonna act on. Like the slow burn romance is half of why I love reading these. I have not shipped 2 characters this much in a really long time, and they frustrate me so much. And then also the mysteries are really fun. I just really enjoy the series. So I'm reading the third book, which might actually end up being my favorite of the 3 because this one has a lot to do with Egypt and tombs, and there's like a curse. I might actually go outside and read because it's only like 90 degrees out right now, which is very rare and nice for where I live because it's been like 110 degrees every single day for a couple weeks. So last night I finished A Treacherous Curse, which is the third book in the Veronica Speedwell series. I was not aware that the 4th book has not been published yet. Not only has it not been published, but it is not going to be published until March of 2019. If I had known that, I would have spaced these books out to last longer and I wouldn't have completely just binged them in like a week. Because now I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm so upset. This series is just so much fun. I love the mysteries, and the slow burn romance freaking kills me. And the way that this third book left off, like the last line of the book, I was like, and I just cannot wait for the next book. And like nobody has read these books. Thank God I can talk to Sarah from Sarah Without an H about these books. She's the one that recommended them to me. And so luckily I have someone that I can share all of my feelings with about this series, because no one else I know has read these. Like none of my Goodreads friends have read them. I've never heard anyone talk about them. They're just so good. And I would say that the only thing I've read that's similar is Stalking Jack the Ripper, but these are better. I did order some books on Book Outlet. I ordered a bunch of like historical mysteries, so hopefully something in there is as good, or just not even as good, but just is good, so that I have something to tie me over until the 4th book comes out. Now I don't know what I'm gonna read because I just want to read more of these books. Like I would read 20 of them if there were 20 to read. They're just so much fun. Good morning, guys. So today I'm going to be reading both of these books. This one I'm about 80 or so pages into it, and it's a post-apocalyptic about a world where there was a disease that killed a lot of women and made it near impossible to give birth. And so now there's this world that is in chaos and overrun by men. The main character is a midwife, and she disguises herself as a guy so that she can safely travel around giving birth control to women so they don't get pregnant and die. It's really good, but it's very depressing and it's hard to read more than a couple pages at a time. So I kind of wanted to offset it with a book that makes me very happy. So this is In an Absent Dream by Sean McGuire. This doesn't come out until January, so I'm really sorry. But this is the 4th book in the Wayward Children's series. It's the 2nd prequel book. It follows Lundy, who, if you've read the 1st book, you would know who Lundy is. And this is her story as she's in the Goblin Market. And, ooh, look at that. So yeah, I'm going to be reading this and probably going back and forth between the two because I don't know if I can finish this if I'm not reading something else that makes me really happy, and this is my favorite series, so I know this will make me happy. So we'll see how this goes, jumping back and forth between the two. Okay, so I've been reading for a couple hours, and I finished the book of The Unnamed Midwife, and I really, really loved it. I think I'm giving it 5 stars. It was almost kind of like exhausting to read, but in a good way. I don't know. I feel like all the ways I could describe this book would make it sound unappealing because I'm like, oh, it's like so difficult to read and it's exhausting. But it was really good and I'm giving it 5 stars. Don't go into this book hoping for like a fun post-apocalyptic action-packed book because it's scary and haunting and sad. And major trigger warnings for rape, sexual assault, murder, suicide, self-harm, homophobia. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, I'm done with that. I only have 1 page left in an Absent Dream. I'm on the epilogue. I love it so much. I think this is gonna end up being my favorite. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm picking my favorite children. I don't know which one is my favorite. It might be this one. I don't know necessarily if I loved this world, the Goblin Market, as much as some of the other ones that we've been to in the series. I definitely don't think this is the world I would go to personally, but I loved Lundy as a main character. I think she's my favorite character so far that we've read from. I just really related to her a lot. And there was this quote that one of the characters was saying to Lundy. And honestly, I felt like it was something that I needed to hear. I was like, oh my God, are you talking to me? It just resonated with me so much. Without spoiling anything, Lundy is about to sacrifice something for one of her friends. One of the other characters says to her, if you want to help her, you need to help yourself first. No one serves their friends by grinding themselves into dust on the altar of compassion. Sean McGuire is such a good writer. Oh my God, I just love that quote so much because I feel like that's the type of person that I am. I will literally give everything for my friends with no regard to how it would affect me. Like I said, I only have 1 page left. The epilogue is 1.5 pages and I stopped because I just don't want it to be over. Oh my God, can you chill? I put Loki outside and he's like freaking out. But I don't know what I'm gonna do now because I'm pretty sure that the next book, which hasn't been announced at all, doesn't have a title, doesn't have a cover, doesn't have a synopsis. These books usually come out in January, so this one comes out in January 2019, which probably means that the next book won't come out until January 2020. Why did I do this to myself? Okay, so I got this box from Book Outlet. I placed kind of a big order. It's not that big, it's not that big. But I ordered this because there were 2 books that I read recently that they had and I really wanted them. Those books kind of themed the whole, hello. Are you curious what's in this box? Those 2 books kind of themed this whole book haul or this whole order because I'm trying to find more books like these. And those are the first 2 books in the Veronica Speedwell series. I've read the first 3 books so far, and they're the only ones that are published. The next one I don't think comes out until like March of next year. But yeah, these are historical mysteries and they're super fun. They have a really slow burn romance. So I got the first 2 books and basically I wanted to find more historical mysteries, so I ordered a couple. The first one is Sawbones, and this one is a Western mystery. The main character is accused of murder, and so she goes on the run and has to hide out from the law. All the blurbs on the back say that it's really good. It says it's a feminist Western. It sounds like it could be really interesting, so that's one. This one I've had my eye on for a really long time. It is Maplecroft by Sherry Priest, and this is a Lizzie Borden retelling. I don't know if it's a retelling. It's about Lizzie Borden. The next one I have also had on my TBR for a really long time, and that is The Fair Fight by Anna Freeman. From what I know, this is basically like a Victorian female fight club. It's basically about these two women. One of them is from a brothel and the other one is like a high society woman. They both are trying to like look for an escape from their life or find something else, and they discover that their calling is to fight in these prize rings. The next one I literally see everywhere, and it's The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. And basically this just kind of seems like a mashup of a ton of Victorian and Gothic stories. Just from the synopsis, I see that we have the daughter of Dr. Jekyll is the main character, and she has to solve this mystery with Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. I see Frankenstein. It just kind of looks like all of those Gothic Victorian stories mashed up into one, and that really excites me. There's a blurb on the back that says this is like if Charlie's Angels was written by Mary Shelley. Which sounds so freaking cool. The next one doesn't really fit into those historical mysteries, but it is R is for Rebel by J. Anderson Coates. This is a middle grade. This is basically about a bunch of girls in a reform school. They don't want to be there, so they decide to rebel and start a little revolution of their own. It looks really good. I'm excited. And then the last book is another one that I have read, but I didn't own a copy of, and that is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This is it's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Oh my god, when I was reading this, it did not feel this big. But this is a superhero book that I really, really liked. Now I own a copy. So I think this is where I'm going to end the vlog. So to quickly wrap up everything that I read 4 books and 1 graphic novel. The books I read were The Sea Witch, which I gave 1 star, A Treacherous Curse, which I gave 4 stars, The Book of the Unnamed Midwife, which I gave 5 stars, In an Absent Dream, which I also gave 5 stars, and then the graphic novel that I read was Spell on Wheels, which I gave 4 stars. So all in all, not a bad week. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!